Moody, um, he was a consultant to the Clinton administration. And I've asked people that were around in the Clinton administration who placed Huma Abedin as an intern with Hillary Clinton. Was it Moody? Because we know Moody was helping the Clinton administration find appropriate Muslim imams to help as chaplains in the military, in areas where the government needed good Muslim imams that could be trusted. He was helping them, and he also made a deal with the Bush administration. He would help them the same way. I don't know yet who put Huma Abedin in as the intern with Hillary Clinton, but it was a stroke of genius because now she is Hillary's closest confidant, was as Secretary of State. Now she was on the masthead for a radical Islamic owned journal, the head of which, a guy named Osama bin Laden, said was responsible for radicalizing him. And her name stayed on the masthead as being a part of that, producing that journal under that radical Islamist, right up until Hillary Clinton was about to become Secretary of State, and she disappeared off the masthead. Now, there's a lot of stuff I know now that Michelle Bachmann and I didn't know when we did a letter to 5 different departments. There is not one, and each one were individualized to the departments. We put facts in each letter pertaining just to that agency, like an intelligence agency, Department of State, Department of Justice, Department of, and it was to the Inspector General of each of those departments or agency, saying, we know these facts are true about potential for Muslim Brother influence in this department. So we would request that you do an investigation to determine the extent of Muslim Brother influence in your department or your agency. And you would have thought that we were, shooting at the Pope or something, that it was just incredibly sacrilegious, which I don't want this to get too heavy. So it reminds me of the 2 Aggies that were talking, and one of them said, weren't you supposed to be married by now? And he said, yeah, but she called it off. I said, why? He said, well, we were watching TV and the Pope came on, and I said some very nasty things about the Pope. And his friend said, you idiot. Didn't you know your fiancée was Catholic? He said, yeah, I knew she was. I didn't know the Pope was. But anyway, but John McCain goes rushing to the floor. Mitch McConnell, they're condemning. There were actually 5 of us that signed, but Michelle and I had more responsibility for those letters than the other guys. They read them and said, this is a good idea. Trent Franks and Tom Rooney and Lynn Westmoreland. And anyway, we put in there that Huma Abedin's father was one of the original members of the Muslim Brotherhood, one of the leading members of the Muslim Brotherhood, even though he had passed away about 20 years before. And her mother founded the sister organization to the Muslim Brotherhood. And, you would have thought we called her all kinds of nasty names. John McCain's condemning us. And then Boehner and Mike Rogers, the chairman of the Intel, they came out and condemned us roundly. I don't think they ever read the letter because there was nothing that was not true in the letters that we sent. And then McCain and I got into it, and I pointed out that in a national interview, I said I was asked about McCain condemning me, and I said, well, clearly he hadn't read the letter. And then I didn't say that McCain is this. I just said, I wish all of these numbnuts out there who are condemning us for these letters would read them first. So immediately there's a headline, Gohmert calls McCain numbnuts. So then I'm doing another interview, and Larry O'Connor on national radio, he says, do you regret referring to McCain as numbnuts? And I said, well, I said all of those who are numbnuts who are condemning us, but I said, as applied to John McCain, I do regret it because I probably should not have used the word numb. Because I don't know. But anyway, so then McCain's asked about that by Brian Williams, and he said, Louie Gohmert is a man of no intelligence. I'm asked about that. I couldn't believe I thought he probably said I hadn't had an intelligence briefing on this or something, but nope, sure enough, he said, I'm a man of no intelligence. So then when people asked, I said, well, if I'm a man of no intelligence, then McCain needs to be a man of no intelligence so he won't keep having his picture made in the Middle East with known terrorists because he had done 2 kidnappers he's pictured with.